All right, if you're sick of the heat, you wish you were somewhere else. This is from surfline.com, our partners here, and it's a great shot of Manhattan Beach. The weather there is much different than where we are. Here's our live picture from our weather system, and it's a lot drier and nowhere near the beach, but it's still warmer if you want to get in your pool. 92 degrees is our current temperature. Can you believe that? It's in the upper 60s in Manhattan Beach. Northwest winds at 8 miles per hour, but it's gusting. So it's been a nice breeze all day long, and temperatures all in the low 90s on the valley floor. The cooler spots in the mountains, but not much cooler at Lake Isabella at 87 and 75 in Tehachapi. Wind speeds on the valley floor around 8 to 10 with the occasional gust to 15 miles per hour. And this is the area to be concerned about, Tehachapi and out Mojave Way, especially when we get to late tomorrow right through Thursday. An area of high pressure is going to set up to the east here, and that's going to really kick up the winds from the northeast, and that means dry, very low humidities. And as you know, it's been a very dry year, so therefore be careful with fire. So here's the frontal boundary, but most of the energy with this scoots east of the Sierra Crest, so we'll cool off a little bit, I mean a degree or two. So, you know, maybe a high of 90 tomorrow. 79 is the average for this time of year, and we talked about this earlier. We do not hit 90 very often on this date in history in April. Over the last 10 years, we've only done it one other day. So to be in the 90s at this time of year is rare, as a high in Paso at 96, 70 in Camarillo, 79 in Burbank, and in Santa Barbara it got to 65 today, which is pretty good. 106 in Palm Springs. You can have that. 92 in the capital and 84 in Redding, where that frontal boundary has already sagged through, so that's why it's cooler there. Regardless, this high pressure ridge is with us for the rest of the week and into the coming weekend, and we're going to be just bouncing into the upper 80s to low 90s over the next, I'd say 5 or 6 days. And then as we get into next week, we'll cool things off a little bit. Future radar, we showed you where that front's moving, and it will move into the Four Corners region where it generates snow in parts of Colorado again in April, and it's almost May on Wednesday. Our wind flow northwesterly at around 10 to 15 miles per hour tomorrow. But watch this as we get into Wednesday morning early. Boom, there's that big push of air, and that's why that fire hazard is such a big concern for our friends in the deserts and mountains. 92 tomorrow in Sacramento, 90 for Fresno, 79 Yosemite, and even in the mid-70s in San Francisco. Gorgeous weather there. 67 for Santa Barbara, 65 Ventura, and 63 for Pismo Beach. Further south, it looks pretty good. 74 Anaheim, 70 in LA, Palm Springs still cooking at 102. And for us, a few degrees of cooling, upper 80s to low 90s again. Overnight lows very comfortable, upper 50s to around 62, 63 degrees. Up in the mountains, cooler for Lake Isabella, not by much, 87, 75 for Tehachapi, and you guys in Fraser Park will also be in the 70s. Desert region still hot, low 90s for the most part, mid 90s in Ridgecrest, and tonight we'll drop off to around 64 for a low. Clear skies, calm winds once we get past midnight. Tomorrow's high 90, sunny and still hot for this time of year. And our 7-day numbers get us to Tuesday. And we stay in the 90s, and the weekend's going to be a cooker, but the tail end of it next week will return back to sanity with highs into the upper 80s to mid 80s, but still above average. Kern River Valley numbers also look nice, too.
Yeah, the 80s would be a welcome change.
Yes.
Thanks, Colin.
You bet.